Hello and welcome. My name is Tom.
And I'm Heather.
And you are sitting at the couples table.
The Couples Table is a live stream podcast here on this channel. Join us for better or worse,
For richer or poorer,
in sickness and in health.
as long as we both shall stream.
I completely missed.
No, I know. I saw you jump. It was really funny.
Wait, hold on. There we go.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Ben is now part of the set. He's back there on the couch.
There he is.
Yes.
Happy Thursday. It is what episode are we? We are on episode 93. We have a couple milestones coming up. We've got the 100th episode coming up.
Yeah.
And you are, I know it's not right around the corner, but 100K is
potentially
within reach.
looming. Yeah, potentially looming. It's
I know it's
so
still
close yet
thousands
so
of
far.
subscribers. What are you at?
97.6.
Yeah, that's still
Yeah.
over 2,000 subscribers.
That's a lot of
That's
people.
still a lot of
Took
people.
me 2 years to get that many at first.
But you have a channel. It's working for you.
The cool thing, and I feel bad saying this, but in the back of my mind, I'll be totally honest with you as we're talking about mental health today.
Yes.
I started my YouTube channel on June 29th, 2017. That was when I created the channel.
Okay.
But I didn't post my first video until July 13th, 2017. Okay. So almost 5 years ago. I was checking Social Blade, and it said that the 100,000 milestone at the current rate would be July 17th. And I was like,
oh,
if I could somehow just to July 13th, that would be so cool. 5 years to the day from uploading video number 1.
that's crazy.
I don't think that's going to happen because I have a feeling it's actually going to slow down and take longer than that. But
Right.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just what
That is really trippy though.
Either way, considering 5 years ago, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's check in really quick. Hello, Rambling Vlogger. Looking forward to this one. I started a YouTube channel this year to help my mental health, anxiety with a side of depression. I think it's really helping my confidence.
And congrats on your accomplishments this week. Super exciting.
It's great. Mr. Camera Junkie in the house. Roger, what's up? Rob's up.
Rob's up.
Simply Obs. Hey, y'all.
Everyone
Curiosity
has
Network
catchphrases.
Podcast. I know. Everyone has their way to say hi. Spiral Lab is in the house.
I just put the hand waving emoji.
Oh my gosh. So in Final Fantasy, they do this thing here, I'm going to type it in. It looks like this. That's how everyone says hi.
What is... Oh, because it's a person waving?
I didn't know what that was. I was like,
funny.
what is O/? And I felt like... back in the day when the
Elite
boomers were like,
gamers
yeah,
and-
what's LOL? I remember someone was like, oh, LOL is like a tree trunk with the hole in it.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
But anyway, so in Final Fantasy, they do that, and I just found out yesterday that it's supposed to be
So people have just been sending you // and you're like, they're trying to hack me or something?
No, I'm like, this is just something I don't understand. Anyway, sorry. Real Pell Rube's in the house. Tom got his hair back down. I hope you guys have been enjoying all the Peter and Tom. I know I have. It's super fun.
Is there more? I don't know. Peter has a few more. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a little bit more. There's a continuing
Miro
story.
is here. It's pretty right around the corner. Okay, I know we shouldn't jinx
Let's
it
not
or
count
anything.
any eggs before
But I
they...
feel like we should plan a thing. Is
Let's
there
just-
something you want to do?
I just want to just keep it on. Keep it
Keep
going.
on.
Keep on trucking, yeah.
Hey, Patricia. Mike is here. What's up? Young Joey. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
First time in a live. Been watching these episodes back to back. Oh,
Nice.
that's great. James Hicks. That's old school pager slang. Remember 7734?
Was that hell upside down?
Oh.
I remember the calculator slang.
800-7355.
Oh man.
Lots of love. Great video, by the way. Green screen for the win. Thank you, Tech Troublemaker. 07734.
Oh, hello.
Oh. Michael H. Did Tom recover from being hit by Heather's green screen?
I think it sounded worse than it was.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know it was
You didn't
gonna,
get hit. It just
snap. It kind of snapped me a little bit, but it didn't
Oh.
hurt too bad. Thank goodness.
But yeah, thanks for all the... I mentioned this on the pre-show, which, by the way, if you want to join us for the pre-show, it's over at the Just Create More community at justcreatemore.com. But I love... if you don't know, I'm trying to upload videos at the same time that Tom does, so that we both can be like, how's your video doing? How's it going?
5:15 a.m. PST every
And
Thursday.
today was like the first one, and I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Anyway, today we're going to be talking about creator mental health, which is a very important topic, one that we can approach from many angles,
It's
which is
broad.
why like, you know, we're really happy to be able to have a platform that you guys can jump on and you know, explore this together. I wrote down some things, but you know, we'll see how we...
Yeah, there's so much to cover. We've talked about this in various forms before, but kind of dedicating a specific show to it seems sort of fun. So you want to kick it off here?
Oh, why don't you... I forgot what I wrote.
Well, okay. A thing that I will say when it comes to creator mental health, for me personally, is over the last almost year and a half of leaving a job to do YouTube full time, one of the big benefits of having a job in addition to YouTube was that it pulls you out of it. Because I remember times where I'd upload a video like on Thursday and I'd be like before work in the morning, like checking everything, but then the school day would happen and it would be whatever 8 or 9 hours,
I see.
and I really couldn't check because, you know, maybe if I had a lunch break I could like see how things were doing. And it was kind of nice sometimes to come back in the afternoon and be like, wait, what? Like, you know, I'd be so up in my head in the morning, and then by the afternoon I'd be like, what was this even about? Like, and it would kind of be a nice perspective shift. And when you don't have that, it's easy to just find yourself sort of like constantly in it and maybe losing perspective. And you can still create those things for yourself by like finding ways to get away from it or focus on other things or whatever it might be. But I've definitely found that to be harder when it is your full-time thing. So that's been more of a challenge. Prior to leaving my job, I thought that's a thing people talk about, but it's not going to happen to me.
Oh yeah,
100%
everyone
it
thinks
happened
that.
to me. Yeah, no, you are not different. You are not unique. It will happen to you too.
Yeah, India's here. Shout out to the 100 live streams.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
gosh,
congrats. Your studio is looking amazing also, by the way.
Let's see. Young Joey says, can't wait to hear your thoughts. I run a mental health podcast. Honestly, I feel like this isn't brought up enough. Killer of Demons, I suffer from general anxiety disorder. So do you, right?
Me too. Oh my God.
I don't think I was diagnosed with it, but I have ADHD and PMDD, and
That's
anxiety is a symptom of all
that's enough to deal with. General anxiety is really tough because it's like literally just you open your eyes in the morning and you have like 4 seconds of like, it just feels good, and then suddenly it's just like, and you're just like, oh my God, everything, I'm anxious just because I'm alive.
Okay, so
not because anything.
Here's
is
like
happening.
how I want to start the conversation.
Okay.
First of all, I think we all know that if you're here, creator mental health is like a very important topic.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that we're only talking about like mental health. Like you have ADHD, you have depression, anxiety, like you have some kind of mental health something. It like, I feel like every creator should be aware that because of what you're doing, which is creating content that is based on your individuality, your personality, your voice, like your own ideas, your way of doing things, your approach, your mental health has a significant impact on like your channel,
right,
the content you create, all of these things. So, you know, regardless of whether you have been diagnosed or something, you know, with something before, like it is just like, oh, you know, creator mental health. Yeah, that's important, but I don't really need to think about that right now. It's part of it.
Yeah. You're constantly straddling the world of like, you're straddling this creative world, even if you might not describe your channel as being creative, the fact that you're coming up with ideas, you're sharing things, you're figuring out how to do that, you're working on the visuals, and the whole experience of creating a video is a creative process, even if you don't think you're a creative person, and you're constantly living in that world. And then it comes up against the other world, which could be everything from your analytics, your time management, your dealing with the influx of just other opinions, both positive and negative.
Comments, yeah, metrics, notifications, all of it. So, you know, I think that being aware that you are an important asset to your channel, just like your camera, just like your gear, and you you know, being mentally healthy, I guess, is important. It's, I think, much, I don't say easier, but when you are proactive, right? And when you have, like systems in place, like when I have ADHD, so I have systems to help me manage my ADHD so that it doesn't stop me from doing what I want to do. Same thing with just being a creator in general. I think, like, rather than burnout, which if it happens, it's fine, but rather than waiting for the creator mental health to like suffer.
Right. Waiting until there's a problem.
Yeah. Like, if you know it's just part of it.
Proactive, not reactive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, it's like, I mean, you said the camera thing. That's actually, I was laughing because it's like, you're just a tool. But then I was thinking, like, no, your camera can't work if its battery's not charged, right?
Yeah. Like, it's the same thing with you.
Yeah. And there's so many times, too. Like, it happened this week where it's like, if you're in a state...
Yep, this happened to you on Tuesday.
This happened to me. If you're in a state where things just aren't feeling right and you're not good, and then you're like, well, I'll just push through and make something anyway, the thing you make is going to suffer, and then you're probably going to feel worse because you're editing it, you're posting it, and it's going to feel off. It's not going to feel right, and then you're going to feel bad and like worse, and it's sort of like this vicious cycle, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. So for this one, I feel like we should try to keep up.
Yeah. No, this is a good constant conversation to have.
Yeah. James and Mark, I wish I could go directly to my YouTube Studio app and see comments versus the summary of the analytics page. It's hard to not take a peek when it's right there.
So here's what you can do. You're right. You could probably set this up on your phone. On my computer, I set up a bookmark that goes to my YouTube comments page. So I open up the browser and I just click YouTube comments and it takes me right there. And then conversely, sometimes I only want to go to dashboard and not look at comments. But I think if you don't use the YouTube Studio app, you might be able to do it in your browser, but then you have to be logged in. It's not going to be as easy to reply because it's not the app. But anyway, that was a huge help. And it was suggestions from this show that told me to do that last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great. I try to cope with mental health by listening to heavy metal music or some 80s music or talk to my friends, my wife.
Yeah.
Yes. YouTube helps make me very stressful with the trolls continuing to harass me and others. Definitely. Yeah. I mean...
When does someone become a troll? Like, when is it a troll versus just like a D-bag?
A D-bag?
Like, what's the difference?
A B-hole, a D-bag.
A D-hole or a B-bag? Like,
that's a whole thing.
I feel like if someone's trolling, they're trying to get a reaction out of it. They're trying to get a negative reaction. They're saying something that's like purposely inflammatory to get a reaction, but there's other people who are just jerks. And like, I don't know if that counts as a troll, but they both have the same negative effect a lot of times.
Yeah. India, I spoke about this on my last day of my stream challenge, and I got seriously depressed right around day 75. I've gained weight, was really sad, and just anxiety took the best of me.
Was that, I'm sorry I missed that one. Do you think that was connected to the streaming, or was that something you were going through while you were streaming, and because you were streaming every day, it just kind of like it ended up being a part of it?
Rob says, when you get older, you gain perspective and peace, and it is easier to deal with the day. I have anxiety. Yeah.
Perspective is very important.
Sebastian, I'm lucky enough to work somewhere that allows me to close the door to my office and watch Heather just live stream.
That sounds great. It's a good
Thanks
job.
for making this Thursday afternoon way better. Aw. Let's see, Roger. The hardest thing for me is that I'm doing YouTube alone. No one in my proximity does YouTube, and keeping the creativity and positivity going, not having anyone backing you, is hard. But that's me.
Yeah.
I totally agree, because that's how it was for me. Like, even my first year,
to be completely honest, even both of us together, we have each other, but it still feels that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, because we both almost feel like one person sometimes. So it's like, we still need more.
Like, it was a total breath of fresh air when Peter was here.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
fresh Swedish air.
Wow. Jeez. Let's see. Brian, I think one of the best solutions for better mental health is doing practices of mindfulness, such as yoga, meditation, exercise, gratitude, personal journaling. I totally agree. And see, that's the thing. Like, because it's mental health, it's not just like in your YouTube process. It's also like, when you're just being a human.
I actually just
general.
Yesterday. I just yesterday was seeing a thing where somebody was saying mental health should be renamed brain health, so that it doesn't seem like it's an all in your head whatever thing, but the way you have hey, I need to go to the doctor because of my heart. I need to have heart health. I need to have digestive health, bone health, whatever, like brain health. Okay. And I was like, that is pretty interesting because it's so easy to push it off. It's like, oh, it's just meant like whatever, but it affects everything else in a big way. And that, I think there's a huge physical component because there's so many times where like bike rides for me have always been a really good one, where you go do that, or you maybe go to the gym or whatever, and you come back and then you feel better because you've done something physical and taken your mind away from it.
Yes.
However, I was thinking about this morning because you and I went to the gym this morning.
We had personal training this morning.
And I was going to tell you this earlier, but I thought this might be a good time to do it.
Oh, okay.
So we've been doing training sessions since last September. Maybe you started in August. I started in September.
Yeah.
We've been doing like at least one training session a week, and then trying to do various workouts like 5 to 6 days a week, every week afterwards. And the last, like, if Morty's here, it's his fault, because after we went to New York is when we kind of fell off the bandwagon of that. And today we went back, and our trainer was like, yeah, like, I want you guys to get back into it and do all that stuff. And I was actually thinking the way that I'm feeling about that, I'm really, like, our trainer's great.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
It's been super fun to like actually see when you have someone guiding you. It's been fun because you see results more than you just, I'm going to go here and just push stuff around for 45 minutes and hope for the best. So that part has been great. But I personally have the same feeling of why like I can't watch productivity videos and stuff anymore, where it was initially I found like all these like minimalism and productivity videos, and I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to get this journal and do this and implement this strategy. And at a certain point, it actually started making me feel worse because I was just constantly thinking, here's one more thing I need to do to improve myself. One more way that I'm failing. One more thing that I'm going to try and I can't keep up with. And so I just stopped doing and watching all of that stuff and felt a lot better. And the gym, like our trainer was like, yeah, I want you guys to get back at it. And I was like, our goal is like 3 times a week. And I don't want to do more than that, because what I'm going to do and what's been happening for months now is we're trying to do 5 or 6 workouts a week. And it's like, I need to do that because I need to prioritize my physical health. In a week where we manage to do the perfect workout, I'm so tired and so sore and so worn out that doing actual work becomes really hard. So then work, the quality and the quantity of work suffers, and I feel really bad. And then I go the next week, and because I'm tired at the gym, we don't go all the time. So then I feel bad because I'm failing there. Like, it just became this spiral of all the ways that I'm failing. And so instead I felt like, well, screw that. I don't want to do that anymore. I would like to go to the gym 3 times a week. I think that's going to be fine. That's going to be better than the average person is doing. I think that's going to be enough, and then do my best beyond that. If we want to go 7 days, awesome. But that's enough. And then I can focus on other things over here without feeling exhausted. And that's it. I'm not going to set these goals that I'm going to fail to meet and then feel bad about myself because I didn't meet a goal that I like.
Yeah.
So I felt bad because our trainer was like, oh, I want you to get like that energy back and that thing. And I was like, actually, I feel better now than I did. Well, I didn't say this, but I was thinking like I actually feel better and I'm in a better place than I was when we were doing that. So I don't know. That was just a thing that
that's great.
Important. I don't know if you feel the same, but that's how I felt.
Well, I mean, I think that doing something physical helps me. Like, I know that exercise and fitness, when I prioritize it, helps me make better content. Mm-hmm. So if it's weightlifting for you, yoga, jump roping, something else, like, if you haven't tried it before, maybe it will help you. The other thing, I mentioned this before, but the personal journaling, the Hero's Journal is the best freaking journal, because it's not about productivity. It's not about tasks. It's not about project management. It's about looking at your life. You're the hero of your own story. And it's just such a cool way to look at life that I've actually, I did a whole reflection this morning because I reached the end of a chapter, and it was like, oh, look back to when you first started this journal. It's the same adventure, but how do you feel? Like, how much have you grown? I'm like, dang, it was only March, but I feel like I've,
that really, thing has been like the best.
I know, it's awesome. The Hero's Journal, they're on Instagram. Go check them out. Okay. let's catch up here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to push us behind.
I'm an advocate of mental health. Let's see. I do YouTube myself. I got no friends who do the same, so I'm not alone. Does that make
Here's
sense?
India says, I do think it was compounded because of the challenge. I got busier at the bank and stopped self-care working out because the challenge took so much free time and I was caught up. I was actually wondering about you. I think it was around like day 65 because I was just thinking, I wonder how she feels at this point where, you know, if you say you're going to do 100 days and it's day 6, you're like, oh, never mind. That's one thing.
Right.
If you're at day 92, you're like, I just got another week and I'm good. But when you're at like 60,
42,
yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I've put so much into this, but there's still so far to go.
Yeah.
And I was wondering how you felt about that.
Yeah.
It's a big accomplishment to have stuck with it and done it.
Yes, our brains and our nervous system are not separate from our body. It's all peace.
There we go.
Keith, is the training why Tom looks buffer than Peter?
Yeah, I would flex, but I know YouTube doesn't like guns on screen, so.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
I am kidding you.
Andrew, the stigma of mental health needs to change. I am INFJ. I can never remember what I am, though. Introvert, and others just don't understand my need for a no people day every once in a while.
Because the thing,
I'm definitely a no people day once in a while person.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can be introverted because I think I'm INFJ or P. I forget which one it is, but it's like you enjoy time with people, you have fun with people, you like people, you don't hate people, but you don't get energized by being in large group things. You have fun, you enjoy it, and then you need to go over here and recharge. Are you disagreeing with me?
Ben is really upset
I'm-
about this.
He disagrees.
Let's see. My theory, oh no coffee, is creators have issues because they're not coming from an entrepreneurial mentality. Everything YouTube is on you. When it goes wrong, it's on you. I don't think people are prepared for that. Oh no coffee, 100%. We don't have the roadcaster today, but I 100% agree with you. Actually, that was one of the things I wrote. Just to piggyback
and
off
people are better at blaming themselves for things going wrong than giving themselves credit for things going right as well.
People are not used to the implications of you being a brand. People aren't even used to being their own boss. So when we jump in and YouTube gives us green arrows or red arrows, like that really affects us because we don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to like see how it fits in the bigger picture.
Right. What does this mean?
Yeah. India, yes, the bike rides and working out is huge to help cope with the anxiety and depression. I'm starting again this week. I had to stay at my GF's house for like 2 weeks to help me with my loneliness. Yeah.
I'm glad you're taking care though.
Yeah, taking care of yourself. Michael, my wife helps me and also helps me not rely on gear shopping therapy.
Yeah, no, that's.
Oh, helps me focus. Persona is here. What's up? Guitar.
Bass.
I really need to pick up that journal for my wife and I. It's the best. It's the best. For my exercise, I chase pesky kids down the street. Damn pesky kids.
Keep them off the lawn.
And yeah, that's another thing. I stopped journaling at the start of the day because I was waking up late for my streams at night. I use Griffith's journal that I use on my iPad with digital note taking.
Yeah, I had the 5-minute journal. It was like a gratitude journal, and I did it every day for a year, and that was awesome. And then after that, I was like, I want to stop and break the streak because the pressure of like having a streak was too much. And then now it's like, if there's a day I feel off, then I will journal because it forces me to be in a specific headspace, mindset, yeah, whatever. And the other days, if I wake up and I don't want to, I don't feel guilty about it.
Set your goals low enough, you're bound to achieve them, Tom. But seriously, goals have to be personal. Physical exercise helps with ADHD so much. Yes, exactly.
I'm not saying don't exercise. Exercise is great. I'm advocating for it very much. So what I'm saying is when we have a thing where it's like, today we need to do this workout, and if we don't check those, because we have failed.
First of all, we had different goals, and I think mine spilled over to yours because I was like, my goal when I signed up with the training was like, I want to be like the buffest person ever. Like I want to be ripped. That's what I told her. And so obviously to achieve that, I had to go like a lot. You don't have to do that.
That was not my goal.
Yeah.
That was. I want to be active every day. That's not my goal
anymore. Yeah.
I want to be active every day, but I want to enjoy it. Like
we got a stationary bike.
Yeah, we did that.
So I could move while I'm playing video games for hours. Like that's.
Well, you can also tell when you find the thing because
jump roping.
There's certain exercises like maybe going to the gym. You know, sometimes for me it's really fun, but other times I'm just checking the clock and I'm like, really, it's only been 16 minutes. Like, can we keep going? But other times, like a bike ride, for example, I'm like, oh shoot, it's already been 90 minutes or it's already been 2 hours. If you told me I had to go to the gym and do a thing for 2 hours, I would feel like, can I just die instead? But on that one specific thing for me, the bike, it's not a problem at all. So, everybody has their thing where it just works best for you. Being physically active, hugely important.
Drew, I found that lately since restarting my channel that my videos have become better. The video I dropped this morning and I almost didn't post. I felt like I needed to, no matter how good or bad.
I need to watch it. I thought it wasn't for us.
Hey, Gil. I recommend checking out a book called Lost Connections by Johan Hari. It talks about the cause of depression, anxiety in the modern time while giving practical solutions. That's great. India, yes, that happened to me multiple times that I was midway or 2/3 of the way. I kept saying, I can't quit now. I've come this far. Keep pushing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you did, and I'm sure you are too. Like, that's a huge, huge accomplishment.
Todd, good to see you. I have only one new video this year. The mental health effects of long COVID are for real. My insurance pays for counseling app service, and now feel excited for being back for Christmas in July.
That's perfect. That works out.
I'm a fairly new content creator. Is there a point where my upload schedule will become, in a sense, mentally robotic? And how have you guys balanced content creating and a stable mental health? That is a great...
Yeah. I do think that's different, a little different for everyone. So we can tell you what we've done, but that's not like...
Well, here's the exciting thing. Is that I think we've talked about this many times, but I think starting or growing a YouTube channel in 2022 is very different than years past. And I think one of those things is that I don't think you need to feed the algorithm. I think YouTube, thankfully has recognized, because I think a lot of the big creators are just vocal enough of like, I hate having to constantly upload, and when I step away, the channel suffers.
I might have evidence that contradicts this from YouTube.
You know what? Regardless of what I think, I'm not going to let YouTube.
I think that's correct.
Yeah, like, I want to say that, like, as long as you're active, right? So say like once a week.
I think once a week is pretty good, unless I think of like animation channels or long form documentary channels where they literally need to spend a month making something because that's how long it takes to make something.
But like daily vlogs, just because you daily vlog doesn't mean that you are going to grow faster.
Right. That's true.
That's my point.
That's true.
So in terms of like upload schedule, I think it is important to be consistent, not just for the platform, but also like as you're building subscribers, because then, like Tom hasn't missed a week in 3 years. Everyone knows Thursday.
Everyone knows. It's
almost 100,000 people do.
It's good I have found that it's good for me as an individual to just structure around it. We've talked about it many times, but just in case you haven't heard that, a thing that helped me a lot was 3 years ago I started scheduling videos in advance. So I try to always have 2 or 3 videos scheduled in advance. Hey, Kyle. So that way if something happens, I don't feel the pressure of like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have a video this week. That's okay, because they're scheduled. The thing I was saying though is that because of the Roadcaster this past month, I published a lot more videos than normal because I did like live streams and I did whatever. And YouTube is like, your performance has improved because you published more videos, driving more channel views. And with a big green arrow next to it. And I was like, yeah, but like, I don't want that.
That actually brings me to another point on here. How do I explain this? Well, I'm just going to read what I wrote.
Okay.
Are you working for YouTube, or is YouTube working for you or you? For you. YouTube cares for you to get views because it's a win-win on their platform. Obviously, they have a vested interest in you getting views. But if you stopped creating, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't care.
They wouldn't.
When you work for views, you're basically a YouTube employee without the protections and benefits of being an employee. You have to be the one to be self-aware, declare your own metrics for success, and draw and enforce your own boundaries. No one else will do it for you.
Right. And the numbers are only half the story. I was looking just yesterday, actually, at like highest lowest videos on my channel just because I haven't checked in a long time, and I was surprised that I think it was 3 years ago, maybe 3.5 years ago, I did a video that was Artlist versus Epidemic.
Yes, I remember this one.
Yes.
This is the thumbnail.
Yeah, that's the thumbnail. It was my channel banner for a while too. Is that video, and I thought that video did okay, and it, considering it's how old it is, like it's done okay, but it's far from like the most popular video. Like it's way down the list in like the bottom third of videos. And I was like, oh, really? Because that video still does get like comments and feedback a lot, but it's also like that was what, after that is when Artlist approached me and Epidemic about being in their affiliate programs. That was not that was just a video that was made, and then both of them reached out afterwards. And those two programs over the past 3.5 years have generated like a ton of revenue, which has also led to like, I've done now, I think 6 Artlist sponsored videos, which is, so that video is probably my most, like, in terms of revenue generating,
right?
Probably the highest one on my channel, you could argue, or at least one of the highest ones. But in terms of YouTube views and YouTube metrics, it's very below average.
Yeah. Let's see. I think it's people being used to the worker mentality. One where they can blame the boss when things are wrong, but when you're the boss channel owner, there's no one left to blame.
Right. So you blame the algorithm.
Yeah. I've been in business now for over 20 years, so I've battled through a lot of this before I came to YouTube. Now it's just can't do it. Oh well, there's always next week. Yeah. That's
good
hard
perspective.
too.
I think perspective is a recurring theme here.
Yeah. Drew, the number one thing I've tried to avoid is getting caught in the algorithm black hole. When I grow, I'll grow, but I'm not going to drive myself nuts just to drive followers, sponsors, likes.
I think that's 100%.
And I think like, especially if the long-term goal, like if you're trying to do this long-term, you know, I think that's also the way. I think that's also the way to go, because I think it's a slow grind, but
where was it? I think
like, you know, it's taken Tom 5 years to get here, but
I was looking at channel growth the other day.
Action Crypto, N=1, Heather. You can't go away and not lose the juice. I'm proof it messes you up. I got canceled after having videos trending 40K views every 3 days, then nothing. What does N=1 mean?
Like, wait, what is... Wait, where are we? I can't read that.
No, you read here.
Oh, N=1. You can't go away. Posting. It's like... I don't know. I have an English degree. I'm just aware of like the thing of like the correct number of guitars to have is N+1, where N equals your current number of guitars.
Wow.
The same thing applies to like bikes, cameras, any hobbies. That's like always the thing.
But yeah, you can't go away and not lose the juice. And you know, the one benefit of YouTube over other platforms is that I do think that videos have a longer shelf life, especially considering the type of videos that you make. So like if you're, you know, I have videos from 2016 that still get viewed today.
Yeah.
I can't say the same thing for Instagram posts or, you know, tweets or whatever. So I do think that the platform can still work for you in a way that others don't. But I mean, also, you know, you are going to get more views with more content that you create. I just don't think that, like, it's just hard because it depends. Like, I do think that, you know, YouTube is telling you, oh, you're driving more traffic because you're uploading more content. Cool. But also, if you're starting from scratch and decide to daily vlog, like, that doesn't mean you're going to drive more views.
Well, so here, I did an experiment last summer because I wanted to. I tried uploading twice a week for a few months. I did Thursdays and Mondays. It wasn't like official, but I did it. And I wondered, like, what is this going to do? I'm uploading twice as much. And so all of my analytics improved 2 times.
Yes.
Which makes sense. But that's it. And I was like, okay, so, right, I did twice as much and everything went up twice as much. To me, that wasn't worth it because it's like, oh, yeah, of course. But, I mean, what I was curious is like, oh, do I do this? And then things get kicked into, like, overdrive mode.
Exponential, yeah.
But it's like, no. So ultimately, it's like it didn't matter. And I was looking at my channel's growth the other day. I can't find the graph on here, but it was like growth over like the last year and like into the future. And it was just sort of a line. I don't really see it. It was kind of a line that looked like this, or maybe I don't know what way. Now I'm doing the exhibit thing with that emoji. But it was just sort of a line that kind of went up like this. And I think a lot of people would like something that goes like this, like the exponential, like the bell curve.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was looking at that and I was like, you know, that is a pretty good thing because it's upward and that's great. and it's moderate, which I can probably handle. If I went from here to here overnight, I think that would be too much to handle mentally. And so it's like, this is not exciting at all. It's the most boring looking graph in the world, but I think that was actually like kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of growth. So it's like, oh, just keep that stable, consistent thing
N
going.
equals sample size.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay. Speaking from my own experience.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
See, I'm glad we have smart people here.
Oh my god, I just wish people wouldn't feel held hostage to posting all the time. Yeah, me too. If you miss a week, it'll be fine. I missed a month in the past 2 years and it was fine.
Right. You didn't get arrested or anything.
How would you feel if you missed a week? You have missed a week.
Oh, okay. Sort of. I missed 1 week 2 years ago, and it was because my dad died. And that was so there was a video scheduled. I didn't actually have a video. Right. But my video was scheduled for Thursday. My dad died on a Wednesday, and he was in the hospital for a while. It wasn't a sudden thing, but it was still obviously very sad. And of course, I had the thought of like, the reason that it popped into my brain was my initial thought was like, everything's scheduled. I don't have to think about it. That's why it's scheduled. It can just do its own thing, and I can be over here focusing on my stuff. But what I got worried about was not everybody knows how scheduling videos work. And I have no idea how much, if any, like family watches or keeps up with my channel. But I really didn't want people to know that like my dad died on Wednesday afternoon and Thursday morning, like a video about a microphone was published, because they might think like, did he just like record a video about a microphone like the day, which was, you know, it was 2 weeks prior that the video was made. So there was a video, it was ready, and I chose not to publish that week, specifically just because it would be weird, and I really didn't want to deal with like, here's a comment like, you look stupid on camera. Like, you know what, I don't need that today, so we'll just not do that. That was the one exception. I don't count that as an exception because what, you know, I don't.
Well,
think
how do you know? Like, did it affect your channel? Did you know?
Oh no!
You broke the streak or whatever.
I think there were people who watch a lot that did definitely reach out and go, like, "Is everything okay?" But it didn't like hurt the channel.
Yeah, because you're still growing now.
If I missed 5 weeks in a row, it probably would have, for sure. But no, the one, it didn't matter. And especially, it depends on your channel size. If you have 6 videos, like, and then you don't publish a 7th video or an 8th or a 9th, like, that's going to hurt your channel. If you have 250, 300, 500 videos and you don't publish one more,
you have a whole library.
Like, it's not going to hurt as much. So
yeah. Let's see. Todd, for what I do, the best schedule is every other week and transition to weekly the first week of October and taking the months of January and February off. Yep. It's also different for everybody. Like, Todd is very seasonal.
Right.
And he knows that. Own a Coffee. Curious to know Tom's channel trajectory over 5 years. At what point did subscriber count jump, and what curve has it taken to approach 100K?
I mean, it took 6 months to hit 100. It took
100
subscribers.
Yes,
it
like
took
99, 100.
Yeah, it took 6, maybe 7 months to do that. It took a year to hit 1,000, 2 years to hit 5,000, 2.5 years to hit 10,000, and that was the start of 2020. 2020 had a pretty nice jump. So by March of 2021, when I quit my job, it was at 60,000, and that was March of 2020. So 2021 was like actually the biggest overall growth year consistently. Looking at the graphs, so I don't know, 2022, like, jury's still out, but that was it. I don't know what the trend is. Literally, you have the first years of like 2017, 2018 where everything's down here, and then it just kind of goes like that.
Monza and Media. Advice for someone in their late 40s, working a 9 to 5 in the same company for 20 years, wanting to make content creation a full-time job. Been doing YouTube for 2+ years, focused on building my channel.
I think you're doing it right, the part where you're focused on building your channel. It's going to be hard as the channel gains steam because you're essentially...
You're working 2 jobs.
Yeah. You're going to have 2 jobs. So Drew is in here, or Grimlock Media is in here. He posted a video yesterday that was a consult with, or a mentorship call that he had with Jared Polin from Fro Knows Photo. And it's long. It's cool. You can see the whole thing. I really liked the ending because at the end they sort of just talk and it's like, hey, if he paid for this call and I can watch it for free, I'm gonna do that. And it's cool to hear somebody who has been successful for many years talk to someone who's ambitious and starting out. And they kind of talked about the same thing. And what Jared said was, keep doing your job and keep doing your stuff on the side until until your job is in a point where it's getting in the way from your actual like growth and potential with the thing on the side. Like obviously most of us, if you have a job and you have this, you're like, I'd rather not do my job and I'd rather do this. So it might be getting in the way that way, but really getting in the way where it's like, if I could dedicate more time on this, this can't grow because the job is preventing me from doing it. And I thought that was actually exactly where I felt that I was.
But you need like
at that point.
Proof of concept, right? Like obviously don't quit until you have the proof of concept that.
Yeah, especially if you're 18 or something, it might be different. You can be a lot more risky, but if you're in your 40s, I'm guessing you probably don't want to be quite as risky as that. And you want to, probably like have a more solid foundation.
In my family, only my mom watches my videos, but I don't think she hits the like button. Let's see. If I miss one live stream, it doesn't hurt much, but if I miss 2 in a row, I take a big hit. Sometimes it just can't be helped.
I think with live streams too, that's important because it's not just like recorded content that people can watch, but it's people planning to be there and interact
in real time.
And that's a part of their schedule, and it's very easy. It's very easy for you to fall out of being a part of their schedule like that.
I know.
I'm not saying anything.
I know. The Rambling Vlogger. I chose my channel name so that I can make videos about anything, as I'd feel undue pressure choosing a niche. I'm not bothered about earning money on YouTube, to be honest. Anxiety, depression, procrastinator, suffering.
And that's why it's so important to know how you feel and what your perspective is, so that you can, you might have entirely different goals from somebody else, and neither of you are doing it wrong.
And also, Mark is asking if you found Peter's phone.
You have to stay tuned for an update on that one.
Yeah. So, let's see what else I wrote here. Okay, do you want to talk about comments?
Yeah, I know we've talked about comments quite a bit, and part of me actually feels bad for how much we talk about it.
Actually, before we dive into comments, like, can you list a few things off the top of your head that you do to like maintain your mental health as a creator?
Sure. A big one of the biggest things I'm dealing with lately has been guilt. Guilt of not being able to give the time and attention to to the people who are sending comments, not the jerks or the donut holes, but the nice people who are sending comments and emails and stuff. So I've been really dealing with that guilt, but also that could be a full-time job, and that's not productive either. So something that's been really helpful, which I kind of need to be more strict about, is just setting aside 10 minutes a day to go through YouTube comments, and that's it. And whatever I get through, I get through. Whatever I don't get through, I don't get to. And just be okay with that. And the reason that helps is because it keeps it from expanding to take up the whole day. And it also protects me from, it's great if suddenly you check your comments on your phone and somebody's like, this is great, I love the video. That makes you feel nice. But it sucks when you're like...
Tell them about the comment you got today.
Wait, which one? I had quite a few fun ones. The one that was recommendation, do more showing and less telling. You're on screen more than the thing.
No, that's not it. The shiny new toy.
Oh, yeah, I was on the Roadcaster one. Someone was like, oh, look, Tom got a shiny new toy. I guess the rest of us stepchildren don't matter. We just have the original. We'll be waiting for the newness to wear off of this thing here. And I was like, dude, I have made... Anyway.
Yeah. So, I think comments, really anything YouTube related, what's really helped me is trying to be intentional, right? So, because look, if I check during PMDD, because I'm so emotionally sensitive, if I check the same thing on non-PMDD time, I can literally just brush it off, but it hits me so differently in a way that I cannot predict during this time. Mm-hmm. So I am very conscious and aware of I cannot, because I don't necessarily know what I'm gonna get, then it's not even worth opening the box until I am
you need
mentally
to,
ready.
right.
Yeah.
That's why setting aside the designated time is helpful, because I can prepare. You're going to see positive things, you're going to see negative things, like steel yourself and then go into this. And the rest of the time it doesn't pop up.
Not just comments, it's analytics, that's the whole thing.
Another thing that has been really cool that I actually learned from Peter, is something I thought I was doing, but Peter is like ruthless with how he wants his workflow to be efficient. And I don't mean this in like the productivity porn way of like, oh geez, but I mean like, if there's anything, if getting this hard drive versus this hard drive, this one means he'll transfer his files in 2 minutes versus 7 minutes, like get this one. If
there's no hesitation.
There's no hesitation, and there's no, like, if something takes too long to clip in, find a thing that clips in faster. Like, it's just eliminating as much friction as possible. And he showed me, like, a couple of things, just even little camera settings. He showed me one thing on my Sony camera, my FX3, that I run the audio into. I never trust auto camera audio levels because it's usually bad. But the FX3... it's a really nice camera when it comes to audio, and the audio interface is the same as the little microphone that Peter uses on his camera. And he's like, why are you doing this manually? Just flip this to audio, put this here, and then it's going to adjust it perfectly and it's never going to clip. And I was like, seriously? Like auto, whatever? He's like, trust me. And it was like, it worked amazingly well on his camera, and then on my camera it changed everything, which meant in post-production, I'm not trying to even out audio levels like I have been forever. They're just even right away, and that saves so much time in the editing process, and it sounds better. So it's like little things like that. Oh, just really being aware of them, and then being active to like, here's friction, cut it out. Here's friction, cut it out.
Kathy's here. Just did an interview on mental health for school leaders.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Did my first ever live stream last night and loved it. Live unboxing RCP2, no views, which was great view. 24 hours on, and it's got more views than all my videos after a month or so.
That's great. I mean, it's super timely. It's super interesting. I love that there were no viewers, so you could just kind of like roll with it.
The studio app only shows comments I don't respond to. They're more on the negative side, but not enough for me to delete, so I always see it when I log in.
I hate that. I wish you could just like mark as read or something, and it would disappear.
Like dismiss this notification.
Yeah, like it's not bad enough to delete. Maybe it's starting a conversation, but like, yeah, it is just the thing that's there.
What I told you to do was to leave me comments on like other videos so that it could bump it down.
I don't remember. I think
maybe I did it. Because I just needed to move it. I was like, I don't want to see this every day.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Yeah, totally. Is there something else?
Themes for mental health. I keep going back to the scheduling thing, but I feel like I feel like when I talk about scheduling videos, a lot of people feel like, I'm trying to make one video. How can I make 3 videos? I can't do that. And I've had people also literally laugh at me. Because they're like, I could never do that. I make the video, I want it to get out right away, I'm impatient. I was like, I get it. I used to do the same thing. I'm telling you, this has been the single best thing I've done for sustainability on my channel. And it is very hard to make the extra videos to get to a point where you can schedule them. Like, that takes a lot of work, and you're going to be very tired. But that safety net makes you feel so much better. Plus, it actually does give you time to work. Once I learned I can spend more than a day on a video. I could spend 3 days editing if I want. Not if I need to, like the video is so long, it's going to take all these days, but just kind of coming back and chipping away at it with a fresh perspective, with fresh creativity, with like excitement for it, makes the whole process more fun, makes the end result a lot better, and makes the whole thing more sustainable. So that, like, I will always say, if it's possible, that is my number one, like, life hack.
Nick, number one thing I do is set aside 20 minutes to respond to comments after upload, and then don't check them ever again. They are not adding value to my life, and they hurt the creative process.
So I'm curious, Nick, because ideally I want to be like you in so many ways, but the thing that I struggle with is the guilt where it's like, yeah, the ones that are just saying like, oh, this video sucks, or you blah, blah, blah. But the one where it's somebody who's like sharing a really heartfelt thing, or they're like offering a good thanks, or they're the one where it's like someone,
like, you've gotten one where it's like, I was diagnosed with cancer, and like,
yeah, your channel's been a source of comfort, and like like
it's like,
I really want to reply to that and acknowledge that. I know, I mean, Nick's at a level too where it's clearly not possible to reply to everything,
right?
So how do you feel? Have you just like come to accept the fact that there's stuff like that is just going to be missed out on, because the same thing is happening with email. From I like dread checking
This
email
is
now.
Tom's like struggle now. Is like there's just not enough. You don't have enough bandwidth to respond to everything.
No, it's a full-time job. And I know that sounds like a really, I don't know, it's a weird thing to complain about, but it's hard. And I've thought about, like, on the main way that people can reach out to me through email is through the contact form on my website. And there's a little thing that says, like, I'm not tech support, but I've thought about adding a thing that says I can no longer reply to tech support emails. So it's like, if you're asking me what cable to get, what thing to connect, whatever to do, whatever, like, I just will delete it. I can't reply to it. And I feel really guilty about that, because there is this weird fine line of, like, well, are we just nerding out about this stuff that we like?
Right.
Or am I just being tech support? And I don't know how, I honestly don't know how to navigate it. And a lot of the times it's like, well, someone needed this question. They liked the way I do things enough to seek me out for an answer. Like, that's really flattering. And I hate to think, I guess here's another way to put it. Early on, a couple months into starting a YouTube channel, I sent an email to like 5 creators who I really, really liked and admired their channels, and kind of like were motivating for me to start a channel. And I just sort of asked them some questions and whatever.
Was I one of them?
That was different. These are people I don't know in real life and had no chance of meeting in real life. I think I sent to 5 people. 2 of them replied. 3 of them I never heard from. The 2 who replied, to this day, when I see their videos pop up, I feel like a
connection. Yeah,
just because, like, you didn't have to do that. I had 4 subscribers at the time, like, whatever it was, and you, like, took the time to write a long thing. So I keep thinking that of, like, okay, like, can I provide...
This is the teacher in you, dude.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, can I provide that to somebody?
Teacher in you.
Because there's a really big impact that can be had on one person.
So that's why I love it.
But it also comes at a really high cost when there's just too much.
Well, here's what Nick had to say.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel guilty at all, bitch. I made you a video. My part is done.
I mean, there is that part of it too, where it's like, I think someone asked that the other day. They were like, hey, like, I need help. Like, can you help me with a thing on whatever? And I was like, there's a whole Roadcaster playlist on my channel. It has 21 videos in it. Go for it. Like, you don't need me to be on a Zoom call. Yeah.
Let's see. I really like the idea of a streaming challenge. It would challenge my anxiety and procrastination. I'm going to seriously consider that. You know, for anyone who feels like they need some kind of a challenge, 10 days is
10-day tackle.
The 10-day tackle, because it's long enough for you to do a whole week of your normal life, and you have to do something every day. So you have to go through every day, but then it's longer than a week, but it's short enough where it's like, okay, it's just 10 days.
Yeah, by day 3, you're like, the light's there at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
But by day 7, you will have run out of all your initial good ideas, and you'll be like, what do I do now? So it is a good amount of time.
Tom, I think your willingness to reply and engage with the comments is one of the best aspects of your channel to view. I can only imagine how long it takes.
I know that, and that's hard to decide. So it's like, if something doesn't get replied to, but the sense of relief when I check email and it's literally like a form email from a company that's like, hello, dear, we're the leading man. I'm like, yes, delete. Like, I don't have to worry about this. Like, the relief of one thing down.
Drew says, I also want to say, as a new creator, mentally, one of the biggest challenges has been embracing the sun, so to speak. I know I'm not going to be amazing out the gate with my videos, so I just need to get better and better. Getting better.
That's starting anything, which is, it sucks to be at that beginner phase, even if you already have skills and you're just like, I have to be bad at this. Not that you're bad at it. I'm not saying you're bad at it, but I know you're probably not at the level that you want to be at.
Yeah.
And just knowing that, like, you have to go through it. It's why, like, would love to learn DaVinci Resolve, but I don't want to go through the part where I have to Google every action. Like,
this is how I feel about shorts right now. I'm supposed to make a short after this, and like, I'm just dreading it because I have to learn something new. And
you need to do that because then you get better. And it's just like,
it reminds me of when I transitioned from iMovie to Final Cut. I was like, that. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
And now you're Final Cut Pro.
Hey, Peter, what's up? Tech troublemaker. It gets depressing when my ideas aren't flowing. Create. But what? This
Right.
is a good idea. How do you like? I know you. It's not like topics, but
That's a really hard one.
I don't know if this is what it is for you because I know that our brains are totally different.
Yeah.
But for me, like it literally feels like my brain is blank. Like I can't even envision an idea. And like I'll even look at my ideas and be like, no,
Yeah,
I'm just
I do
like
that.
not feeling any of these.
For me, what it feels like is like if you ever go to the fridge, like you're hungry and you go to the fridge and you're like,
Yeah,
there's nothing to eat. Like that's kind of what it feels like.
It's like I'm just not in the mood for like any
none
of
of this
things.
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
I think I don't have a surefire solution, but something that has helped is to think about something I'm excited about. Like not necessarily a video topic, but like, oh, look, I like this microphone. I haven't gotten to use this microphone in a video yet. How could I use this microphone in a video? I'm tired of filming in my office. Maybe I could film something outside. What could I film outside? And like,
I just thought of something.
that kind of a thing sort of gets the gears turning of like maybe a topic, maybe like an approach or a structure to a video, like just sort of like what would be fun, what am I interested in, even if it's something the viewer won't notice. Like maybe I do want to try editing this video in DaVinci Resolve instead of Final Cut. Now I need to record a video so I can edit. Like whatever it might be, that kind of helps.
So I haven't updated this in a while, but Marie Poulin, who also has a YouTube channel, I think I got this from her. So she uses Notion for everything, life and business, and I think she posted a thing of like a protocol thing for her mental health. So it's like, if I'm feeling anxious, do these things. If I'm feeling uncreative, do these things. And it's just basically like a checklist of all the things that I've worked before. And so you're not sitting like you could at least do something to
am I
try
hungry?
to.
Am I sleepy? Am I like...
Yeah. So it's like, if you're feeling uninspired, then here are the things that have, kind of kicked you out of that before. I think that is such a cool thing that everyone should have. That way you're not sitting here twiddling your thumbs like I'm talking to myself, staring at the wall. Like, and I did that. I was like, when you're feeling anxious, like read your creator creed.
Right.
Or what is the thing that you're super excited about sharing? Like get back to the basics, and then start from there. But I think like not even, if you don't have any ideas, but if you're feeling down, if you're feeling unmotivated, if you're feeling anxious, like create your own checklist of stuff that works for you. Do you feel offended if you leave a comment on a large channel and don't get a personal response? My feeling is that my bandwidth is limited and I can make content for all or a few individuals.
Yeah, see,
I love Nick.
I never get offended by that. If anything, I don't expect them to ever see it, or I kind of think like maybe it'll pop up in the studio and make
that's
them
I
smirk,
think how they feel for you. But you're also in a sweet spot where it's like you're not 1 million, but you're 100,000.
Like I could. I do see pretty much every comment, pretty much. So like why couldn't I? And some of them, it's also like I've learned that I don't need to reply when someone's like, "Oh man, this video is awesome." Like, okay, I don't need to write, "Thanks, appreciate you taking," like I appreciate that. But I don't need to reply to that. So I save that time.
Also,
but in the thing where it's like, oh, but wait, like my Bluetooth isn't working the same as yours was. Like, how did you get that screen to pop up? And I'm like, I feel like I should go in and answer this.
I don't know. Every time I look at Tom responding to emails, there's like paragraphs in the response. And I'm like, you couldn't make this a Loom video, dude?
Well, because then that's a whole other... Like,
that's so much easier for me.
I also just want to sit there, like... you don't need that
I don't
want
to think about, like, grammar. No. Let's see. I don't think it's the teacher and Tom. I think it's Tom and Tom's personality, and Tom's personality is what makes people hit subscribe and keep
See, so I have to keep doing it. There's no way out.
Drew says, practice makes better, mastery takes time. For everyone. James, we've been in a creative block on what to create, but worried the longer we put this on pause, the harder it will be to get back in. Think going to gym regularly and then stopping and then returning. Yeah. It's
hard. I wish there was a simple solution.
Yeah. That is great, Heather. Here are the things that have helped. Yeah. Nick says, Think of the time that you are responding to comments as time that you aren't helping others by making more content. It's about priorities and choosing how you labor can be best spent. How your labor can be best spent. No
I've
guilt.
thought about that. Like, instead of replying to everybody, maybe I should be doing more of the thing that made them want to send something in the first place. But I just can't not feel. I want to not feel guilt.
You know what? Let me tell
go
you.
To Just Create More and go to our.
No, you need to like have a
I need to go to
Nick
Canada.
and Tom weekend. Yeah, just like you had the Peter and Tom weekend. Nick, this is a collab that I want to see.
We'll probably not be out
Canadian
in the desert, but we
footage.
could be.
You go to Canada and go get all the like B-roll and everything.
Go get that.
You
B-roll.
live like by a lake or something, right? Mountains.
I think Canada
and
is just
water
all lakes,
and
right?
stuff.
Yeah, that's all of Canada.
Own a coffee. When I run into creator block, I just stop and go out and do something completely unrelated to YouTube
That's
production.
a good one.
I try to find perspective, maybe for a day or two. That's
Great
also
one.
really good. Yeah. Yeah. I also used to, now that the world is opening back up, I like pre-COVID, I always had like some kind of event or networking event or conference or something to look forward to, and those were always like. I know, I just always feel excited. It's, being around other people that are also doing what you're doing is also very exciting. So go to People of Video in September in Albany, New York. We'll be there. Yay. Let's see. Andrew, I'm the same, Heather. I do so much rather pop open Ecamm and record a quick video reply. Tom, I hate typing. Yeah, that's what I do. I do it in Loom, like Ecamm to Loom. And then it's all saved in the cloud.
So the thing about that for me is with an email, obviously, like I can edit and I can.
Oh, it will take me so long.
I can. But with a video, it's like now I feel like I have to be on, and the person is going to be expecting a certain thing. Because
I guess so, yeah.
And at that point, I feel like that's something you should be paying for. But if that's the case, then shouldn't the 4-paragraph like support thing, like why is that free? I don't know. These are problems I don't know how to navigate, but I feel like the customized video, like that's a Cameo. That's a whole website where people get paid to do that kind of stuff.
I know.
like I don't want to, the anxiety and the stress of like doing that, and then you're sending video clips out to people, and I don't want stuff to get cut out of context or anything. So
I want in on that collab. Nick and Tom Lisai. Florida is all golf courses.
So is where we live, desert and golf courses.
What a great creator code. Go get that B-roll. Also, by the way, if you haven't watched my tutorial that came out this morning, amazing montage sequence, courtesy of Tom.
Well, the filming, but not the editing.
Yeah. But it was a collab, and it's very fun. Very proud of it.
It was easy. It didn't take that much time.
No, I know. It took the least.
It took like 10 minutes.
But it was so much fun to make. That creative girl. I agree. I think it's rude when creators don't talk with their audience at all.
So do you think it's rude when they don't talk at all, or when they like? Is there a balance where it's like, okay, they're engaging, but obviously they can't engage all the time with everyone, or like?
Oh my gosh, I'm 100%. I can come to you too.
Oh yeah.
Roast the studio.
Roast.
Let's talk about the interior design of Tom's setup and Heather's setup. POV was a true blast last year. Yes. Let's hang out, People in Video. Yay. Drew, hey, you guys are always invited to Canada Light, also known as Washington State. It's relaxing. There's nature. Well, we have to do Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, I just like that area. I've only been there a few times in my life, but it's like
we could do like
I like that area.
Can't we do Seattle, Portland,
Vancouver?
Yeah.
If Canada would have
like in the same trip.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do anything if you put your mind to it and you have money.
Chuck money. Yeah. I hadn't planned going to go this year, but I love the idea of seeing folks in real life.
That is, speaking of like introvert, extrovert, the creator meetups and the like people that you've interacted with online in person is genuinely like rejuvenating.
It's like good for your soul, dude. It's
nutritious.
Yeah.
Soulfully nutritious.
Yeah. James, I've just arrived back home to England after having spent a couple days in Killarney, Ireland, and what you've been talking about today has been exactly what I've needed to hear.
I'm
wow.
glad to hear about that.
That's awesome.
There's a street near us called Killarney.
Is Nick coming to POV? I don't know.
I have to see what his POV is on that.
Hey now, how about Peachtree, Georgia? We're gonna just do like a. Oh wait, are we allowed to tell people
About what?
what you're doing on Tuesday?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we
Yeah,
could, but
fine.
I feel like it's one
fine,
of those
it's
things
fine,
where
it's
it's
fine.
like
Yeah,
if you say
We're gonna jinx
what
it.
you're doing before you do it, you failed. Yeah.
Well, I might make a vlog, and you'll hear about it in the vlog. Let's see. I think having some kind of relationship with the viewers, not necessarily responding to every comment, but like Tom said, acknowledging nice comments is a positive thing. 0 viewers equals no channel.
What about, how do you feel when you go through a channel and like every comment has a heart on it?
Well,
because it's like at that point, does no comment have a heart on it?
Wait, what?
Like if you just give a heart to every comment, but then when the viewer goes and they watch a video and they go through and they see the creator is just like,
I heart every comment.
I
mean,
do
I know
a lot
I don't have
too.
that many comments. But...
No, I do a lot too, but it's like, it's because I genuinely, at the very least, if I'm not replying, I want the person to like know, but also I don't know if they'll know I replied. So sometimes if I do reply, I make sure to heart it so they get the notification and then they can more likely see that I actually replied.
Wow. I don't know what POV is. It's People of Video, and it's in Albany, New York, September
21st. You can't remember the 21st day of September?
Oh, that's right. Okay, now I'll never forget.
It's the easiest one.
September 21st through 23rd, I believe. And you can totally do Portland, Seattle, Vancouver, Whistler trip. There you go.
Great.
We should totally do that. That sounds so fun.
Oh, I love trees and mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. It's my thing.
So there you go. Come visit Greenville, South Carolina, the greatest city in the South. I love that. That sounds fun. We could do the world tour.
The world tour of the U.S. and a little bit of Canada and Sweden.
I heart almost all comments, but I don't have many comments. I'm just glad someone commented. That's how I feel. Okay, so creator mental health. How are we closing this out?
It's an ongoing journey, and there is no end. But here's the thing. I think it's very important to be aware of you and your state. I think it's very important to talk about it, and I think it's very important to keep it as an ongoing dialogue.
And prioritize it, because no one else is going to
no one else would even maybe know that you are having problems with anything. It
should be part of just the whole thing. And, you are the only one who can kind of advocate and take responsibility for your own mental health. So,
That's very true.
And I just think that it's something that should be talked about. I don't think there should be any stigma towards it. I know there is stigma against, towards mental health in general anyway, but like as creators, like we are entrepreneurial. We're doing this on our free time for many of us, like after work, between, family obligations and life and all of these things. Like, you got to be in the best mindset that you can be in order to create the best content that you can. And that is not an easy thing on top of trying to build a YouTube channel. So, it's not something that there's just an easy answer for everybody. But the other thing I would recommend is like, connect with other people who are doing the same thing. I swear this is not a plug for Just Create More, but like, but seriously though, like you are it, when you feel low and down, I have a tendency to feel like, not woe is me, but like, it's the worst thing in the world. Like, obviously, because my problem is the only thing that I'm aware of. So it just feels so heavy. And then you realize, like, they're feeling the same thing. They're feeling the same thing. They've already, they were there last week. Like, everyone is, feeling the same anxiety and, especially when it comes to working on a YouTube channel. So you are not alone. Connecting with other people who just get it, who speak the same language, who... very important. Yeah, who are even like in the same niche. Just being around that and making an effort to be around that. I think like, Tom and I live together, but we approach our YouTube channels, and our YouTube channels are very different. And there definitely was a difference between like seeing Peter and Tom talk about cameras and lenses and things that I just will never care about. Like I could tell how much it was like, oh my God, this is so
I want
cool.
more of that.
Yeah. Like, and like, I feel like whatever that is for you, like if it's Nick and interior design or something, or like maybe you talk about food, you need to connect with other foodies or whatever. I think that will keep things exciting for you, so that you can keep creating exciting content.
Yeah. All right. Is it time to clear the table?
Did we finish? I'll be a people video. I got in trouble for not going last year.
Patrick, Mr. Boberg.
I appreciate Tom's YouTube comment replies, but Twitter replies is really where it's at, especially because I tweet a lot of nonsense. I wish I could go to POV, but I'm scheduled to be in Melbourne, missing out on VidCon because I'll be in Sao Paulo. Hey, Tony. Let's see. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm just so excited to meet so many of you in person. Bring a coat. Our Washington summers are cold in comparison to where you're at. What is it right now?
Here, it's 100 degrees. Oh, no, today's high is 109 Fahrenheit. So that is 44 Celsius?
It's hot.
Something like that?
It's hot. I think it is great that creators are discussing mental health. Working from home can be isolating, so thanks for lifting some of the stigma.
Yeah. I don't personally have like a mental health stigma. I guess
I know there is one.
There is one.
But like it's... Yeah, go ahead.
The stigma that I feel, though, is when you talk about it, the last thing I want is to come off as, like, complainy or whiny. So it's like, I'll just shut up and not mention these things. But then you end up not talking about it.
Yeah. Like, it's everyone, every single creator is going to go through some version of mental struggle. Especially if you tack on, other conditions like ADHD and depression and stuff like that. So peer support is magic. Yes.
Isn't he the news anchor? Peer Smortskin?
Shout out the Spiral Lab. It's a channel all about neurodivergence. There's lots of videos and resources and live streams. So, definitely go check that out. Let's see. I'm getting peer pressured into going. Hi, Melanie.
Oh, that'd be great.
Let's all go. Okay. And if you're in Just Create More, go RSVP. We're going to plan a Just Create More something, lunch, dinner, or something. Love this conversation. Hope y'all revisit.
I would love to revisit.
Meeting creators is amazing. The two I've met recently have been wonderful experience. I can't wait to meet more. Yes. Goal. Meet with you all at some point.
62 over there.
Oh my gosh. It doesn't even get that at night here.
I forget who it is. Some author said like the coldest winter they experienced was summer in San Francisco. And I was like, what? And then I spent like a week in San Francisco in the summer and I was like, God, it's so cold.
I know.
It's like in the 40s.
I went to Long Beach in April.
Yeah.
It was freezing. Like this is where I used to live and it was so cold in April and it was probably like 62.
I mean, San Francisco, it was cold, windy, stormy in the 40s, and it was July.
Andrew, really hoping to meet you guys at POV. You've been both huge.
Aww.
So if you're going, like, we will meet. It's not a crazy huge conference.
Yeah. There's like 300 people there.
I think at most. I think there were 100 people last year.
The couples table is going to be like 60% of the attendance.
Yeah, like if you go, we will definitely meet, and it'll be very exciting. So... yeah, if you have any ideas of what we could talk about on future Couples Table, let us know. Hit us up. And thanks for joining us.
It's time to clear the table and clear the mind. Bye, everybody.
You didn't do your happy thing.
I hope you have a safe, happy, healthy, fun rest of your week, and we will see you next time.
Bye.